Today on In the Woodyard, my Eastonmade Ultra wood splitter is leaving. I'm putting it on the truck and I'm getting rid of it. Here we go. So this splitter has been a good splitter for about a year and a half now, and I've worked it pretty hard, but I'm taking it to a place tonight and tomorrow where it's going to get a real workout. I'm taking it to my brother Ken's. I'm not getting rid of it, I'm just taking it up there and show him how a real splitter works. Show him that speed matters. So I'm going to load it up and I'm going to put it in the back of the truck here, and then we're going to drive up to my brother's and we're going to do a bunch of work in his wood yard. I'm going to be there for 3 days. So we're going to do splitting with my splitter and his splitter. We're going to cut a bunch of stuff. He just got a load of wood in at his wood yard that in one load there was 23 pieces of wood. The smallest piece was a 30-incher. Everything else is 30 to 40 and even 40, over 40 inches. Big stuff, really big stuff. He said the truck, when it unloaded it, the guy could barely reach out to set them down. They were so big and heavy. And I'm also going to be taking up my big new chainsaw, my big new 592. So we're going to cut up that whole truckload. We're going to see if we can just get it all cut up one day. Between his 395 and my 395 and my 592, we're gonna trade off back and forth and try them out and do a real comparison, cutting big wood the way it's meant to be. So today I've got to load up my splitter here. I've got to sharpen up my chainsaw, load all my stuff up, and I'm gonna head up to Ken's. So for the next, I don't know, I'm gonna be there for 3 days, but we'll probably, each day we'll do a couple videos. You're going to see a lot of stuff over the next week up at Ken's, so it's going to be pretty awesome. We're also going to go to a logging job where some guys are doing some logging. We're also going to go to a wood yard where they're getting all kinds of different wood in. We're going to talk to the people there and how they run that. So that'll be a whole different video, so it's going to be pretty awesome. You're going to see a lot of really good stuff coming your way. So now, let's load this pig in here. Well, this ought to be interesting. I've never done this before and I don't have anybody to help me, and I know backing this is not easy, so I got to get it up the ramps and in there without, going too far, not far enough. So there we go. At least I'll be recording it, so if stuff falls apart and breaks, you get to see it. I got to move my ramps a little bit. The ramp wasn't lined up right here, so I got to move it over just a smidge, or a titch, something like that anyway. I got to go back and take a look and see how I'm lined up now. That one's pretty good. That one's crooked. Try that. Let's see what happens. Kind of straight, sort of straight. I think it's just gonna fit. Okay, I'll keep it there. I'll remove my ramps. And I'm going to go up higher with my 3-point and level it off. But I don't want to go so far that I hit my back window, because I know all of you would love to see my back window get smashed. So I know I got to go back about here. So yeah, I'm gonna chalk the tires, get them so they can't roll anymore, and then I'm gonna ratchet strap the whole thing down. That should be good there. Now I'm gonna pull my pin on my jack. As far as I can go, that looks like. Let's leave it there. Yeah, I'm about a foot away from the window there. And I think I'm gonna drop this down. I'm gonna have to leave my gate open, I think, because I don't want to go much closer to the window. I want to allow a little bit of space. So I think that's about where it's gonna have to be. That's as high as that'll go. So we'll spin this back down. Looks like I gotta lift it up and then stick it in, so this ought to be fun. So they can do this without dying here. Come on, baby. This is heavy. Very heavy. Get in the hole. It's getting heavier. There we go. Whew. There. I can put the tractor away. There, so what I did is I wrapped my tow chains around this beam right here, and I've got it on my D-rings on both sides there. I took off the tongue. I'm going to secure that up on the inside, and then I've got a big brand new ratchet strap, 2-incher, that I'm going to put on in the back and go probably from front to back, and then put another one. So I'll get it so it can't go forward all, because right now I'm about a foot away from the window up front. I'll show you that in just a second. Here, get this baby opened up. This is a brand new one here. Well, there it is. It's in. I put a big block of wood in front so it can't go forward. I got both the wheels chocked. I got ropes tied across through here, tying all that stuff in. I got a ratchet strap going front to back across there. I got the chains across the back here, and I got a rope going that way to the axle so it can't go forward or backward or side to side. I got it off the tailgate here, but I can't close the tailgate because it still sticks out, because I wanted to leave enough room up front so that it's not right up against the window. I got about 6 inches there, but it doesn't go anywhere. I shoved on it hard as I could back and forth, and it doesn't move. So that's how she's going to travel down the road. Now I got to head inside and get my chainsaw and get it sharp. So let's go do that. So I am going to sharpen up the saw. First thing I'm going to do is going to mark a tooth. Even though this brass fitting is right here, I still mark it just so I can see it. Just out of habit, I guess I do that. But there's the first tooth to sharpen. So I do have the diamond bit in the Dremel. I'm not using the Eastonmade because the collet inside of the arbor here, where you tighten it up, it doesn't get real tight, but it does on the Dremel. So there's something wrong with the collet on it. So I used to use my Dremel, but I am using the diamond bit on it. So let's see what we can do here. See if I can do this with the camera right here. There you go. That's done. Now I'm going to take the rakers down, just one stroke. So for those of you that haven't seen this before, this is a special file. Most of you know this, but some don't. It doesn't have any cutting edge on this outside edge, just on the top. So when you're going across, if you hit the teeth, you're not going to ruin the teeth at all. So it's just a smooth edge on that side. So I'm going to start right here where on the same tooth. I'm just going to do one stroke on each one of them. And we'll do the other side, just one stroke. One to go. There. That side is done. Now I will spin the saw around and I'll go the other direction. I'm move you guys over just a little bit this way, hopefully. Maybe you can still see. There you go. So right here's my red red tooth again with the brass link. So I'm going to start behind that. There we go. That side's done. Now when I take my gauge, I put it on there. That one's good. Yeah, I probably have a little bit more off than what the gauge would say to do. It's just a hair below that, but I'd rather have it just be a little bit extra. So check the teeth. They're nice and sharp. You gotta tighten the chain up just a little bit here, so we'll do that next. And I'm going to show you the nickel trick. For those of you that don't know the nickel trick, I will show it to you. This was shown to me by an actual Husqvarna representative, and here is the nickel trick. You take an every average day ordinary nickel and you put it underneath your chain right there, and then you tighten it as tight as you can get it, obviously without breaking your screw here. You just get it tight until it's real good and snug, and then you tighten down your bar nuts. And you should just barely be able to get the nickel out of there. And that's about how tight I want it. So that's about how I normally got it. So the nickel trick really works. If you're not sure how to tighten your chain, that's the thickness you want. And it works on any bar. It doesn't matter what length it is. You put it in the middle, tighten down on your bar, your chain tightener here, your tensioner, and then tighten up the nuts, and you're good to go. And because the saw is new, I'm just going to give the saw a little look over and just make sure none of the nuts are loose. I can see that I need to get my little Allen wrench out here. Right here's a bunch. I'm pretty sure I need this one right here. Yeah, that one's tight. Oh, that one's not an Allen wrench. That's this guy here. The stars. The stars are out. Let's see, which one is it? Next size. Yep, that's the one. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. Turn that side here. Check this side over here. That one's good. That one's good. That one's just a little bit loose. Some people call these torques. Some people call them hexes. I don't know. They're stars. Doesn't matter. There we go. I checked them all, and they all seem to be tight. There's only one in the front here on the muffler, and that's a different size. It's a smaller one. Let's check that one just to see if we're in the ballpark on it. Smaller size yet. Oh, just a little bit of tightening on it, not much. There we go. So, I think I got one other one I need to check here. I don't think I checked my my dogs here. Yeah, that's tight. Yep, that's all tight. So there, that's all good. I'm going to quick pop off my cover, and I'm going to just check the air filter, even though I don't know why it would be bad. I ran tank and a half. Yeah, it's clean as can be, I can see. So it's good. So there. Snap this back on. Isn't that quick and easy? I like that. There we go. She's ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to do one of the most important things next when it comes to transporting your saw. It's this or this. Put a scabbard on your saw. And it's not so much to protect the teeth, it's to protect all the stuff that the teeth can hurt, like your hands. I have cut my hands so many times on teeth where the saw just rubbed up against it, or it hit another piece of equipment and while I was in the truck and it's rubbing on it. Cover your teeth. There, and I like this one. This is the old Oregon one my dad gave me because it just goes on and off easy. The scabbards are hard to get on and off and they stick. Ready to rock and roll. Okay, so there's one last thing I'm going to do before I go to my brother's. I've got this Pro Sizer and laser pointer here. I just loosened it up so it's coming off already. I am taking it off. I used it yesterday. I tried to use it yesterday. Didn't like it. Number one, you gotta, to me it slows me down. I'm going to try it again later when I cut a big pile of logs, but for what I'm going to do with my brother's, I know I don't want this. I'm going to put on some zip ties with feeler gauge because that's what I'm used to. And I will play around with this again some other time. Not saying it's bad, it's just not something I want hanging on my saw right now. With this big saw, I want to be able to grab my grip. Now the other day, I had Kenny run my saw. He went to cut a tree down, and when you go to do your cut, the Pro Sizer's right here, right where you grab. It's in the way. It literally is right where you want to put your hand. So it's not in a good spot. And you can't go too low. I mean, you need to go low because of where you need to aim onto the, to the front where you're aiming with the laser pointer. This is a laser pointer for those of you that don't know. It's for aiming onto the wood that you know how to make your cuts. You can go whatever width you want to go. 16 inches is standard for me. So it's kind of nice. I mean, it works. But if you're cutting horizontally at all, it is in the way. And if you put it way up here, it doesn't aim right. So I am going to take it off so it's not in my way because I don't really want extra things hanging on this saw when I'm cutting because this is not a toy. This is a very serious saw. So I'm just going to leave this here. What I am going to do is I am going to put on some of my custom zip tie measuring devices here. For those of you that have seen this before, it's no biggie. For those of you that haven't, what I do is I'm going to put these zip ties onto my handlebar here, and I'm going to measure from 16 inches to the end of the zip tie, put some pink tape on, that way I know it's 16 inches every cut. And these are whipping out of the way. They last quite a long time. Let's see, I want to go the other way, so we want to go from the back, like this. So, and these can also get in the way, but not nearly as much as the Pro Sizer. It's the way it hangs out there. It needs to be incorporated right into the handle somehow to where it's just not in your way. Some manufacturer needs to come up with a way of doing that. I'm gonna come in from the back, I forget. Here we go. And I put 3 on because they seem to work better as 3. I've tried 1, I've tried 2. 3 seems to be the best. Get them lined up, and I will then tape them down. So they're not in my way. Now you can leave them loose, so you can spin them out of the way if you want, but I prefer to have them taped down, and I will show you how I do it. So that should still, because you can still grab here just fine, and it's not in your way. But with the Pro Sizer, you can't grab there when you want to do your horizontal cuts. So, just saying. So if I take my yardstick and I measure, 16 inches is right there. So I'm going to cut this one off right here. Oh dang, I think I moved. Oh, yeah, I got to go in just a little bit. There we go, that's 16 inches. And again, it doesn't have to be right down to the exact millimeter. There you go, let's just double check it. It is 16 inches on the nuggies. And then I'm going to cut the other 2 so that they match. There we go. Then I'm going to take my duct tape, pink duct tape. This is the only color you can use. No, I'm just kidding. You can use any color you want. I just use pink because it's the most visible. I think I can see it the easiest when I'm looking for it. If you did a different color, it might not show up as well, but these seem to work really good. So there's one. There's two. Just need one more. Got too big of a piece. Because I don't even want it to be an inch. I want it to be about 3/4 of an inch. Here we go. It's some oil on my hands. I hope that doesn't make it not stick. I have to retape it. There we go. So the feelers are together. Now you'd think, oh, that's good. That's going to work nice. No, it doesn't. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to tape these so they don't move. And then I'm going to tape a collar, like a stress relief collar, onto them. I'll show you that in just a second as soon as I get this put on. It's nothing fancy. I just tape them so that they don't spin freely, because I used to do it where they would spin freely, but they were always not in the right place when you wanted them in the right place. So I do that, and this is just regular black electrician's tape, black vinyl tape, nothing fancy. And they don't last forever, but they do last a long time. I've got one saw, I think I've had it on for over a year now. The other one just broke off just the other day. I was cutting and it was below zero, and I dropped the saw down. I dropped it on a log where it was right here, and when it hit it, it snapped them right off, all three of them. But I think they were already bent and fragile on the inside, which is why they broke off so easily. So then I'm going to do the stress relief collar, which is this thing right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go around here. Just like they have on electrical cords, you have that extra thick rubber, plasticky kind of stuff. They put that there to stop the stress from the actual cord being bent back and forth, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm putting this around. I'm going to put an extra one on to stiffen it up a little bit. And these can be, I gotta get this one inside. There we go. So they're just out there. You can see them just fine, however you do it. They do move around. There we go. That's better. So I'm going to put another one on, kind of in the same spot. So it's got a little bit of thickness to it. There we go. One more time around onto there, and I'm going to put one extra piece. Looks like this one's kind of out of the way. There we go. One extra piece around what I just did there. That's actually pretty good. So I'm just going to go around here, and around, down and around. There we go. Done. There we go. So now I have the feeler gauges. So when I'm cutting from above, this is what I see. So when I'm looking, I take the tip of the saw and I can put it on the log, and then I can look over here and I can see these, and I can just line this up, or I can have the log right here. So for instance, I use this axe handle. If this was the piece of wood I was going to cut, what I do is you just take your saw, you drop it into about right there so that it's lined up. You look over here, and that's your next cut right here, going that way. You just pick a spot and cut. Now if you're going from left to right, it's real easy, because what you do is you just line it up like this. You line your feelers right up to the edge there like that, and then you just cut. Right there it is. Easy peasy. Out the door we go. We're going to take the big boy and put it in the truck, and then we can head down the road. Oh, normally I would put it in the back of the truck, but I don't want it falling out because I don't have anything in there, so I'm going to squeeze it right in back through here and See if I can make it fit. Huh. There we go. Just got to do a little ram job. There we go. She's in. Secure. Helmet's in. Everything's ready to go. All I got to do is hop in the truck, start driving. I got a 3.5 hour ride almost to get to my brother's because he's way north of me. So I'm going to go up there for a few days and do some cotton and do some wood stuff. You're going to come along. It'll be fun. Tomorrow you're going to get to see it all. That's it for today, folks. You know what to do. Poke the buttons, hit them all, hit the like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Tomorrow I'll be back in the Woodyard, Kenny's Woodyard. I'll see you then. Between now and then, get outside, get cotton. Good night, Irene.